Hey, what's going on, Andy? What's up, Jason? What's up, James? How you guys doing today?
Evening. Hey.
How was your weekend?
How was your weekend? How was my weekend?
Yeah.
My weekend was good. It was busy. It was very busy.
What's up, Luis?
Saturday we went to the hockey game.
Okay.
Anyone that's a fan of the Lightning or hockey in general, it was like 8-2. So that was insane. So crazy there. And then Saturday we had to go to the Ringling Museum for Haley for college. She had a project she had to do, so that was neat. I'd never been there before. So,
how was it? That was good.
If you're into 14th, 15th century Jesus artwork, then it was great. If you're not, then it sucked. The only cool thing there was the house. So we got to go into his house, John Ringling's, and that was impressive. If you're ever in Sarasota, Florida, definitely it's worth the trip just to see the house. We won 8-2, so the Lightning won 8-2. When I say we, that means them, because I just sat in the stand and went, woo!
But had to do it. We because
we did a lot of this. Yay! And then sat back down. And then, yay! It was like, good gosh. So that was good. About to sleep. Being Norway.
What's up, Norway?
So that was fun. How was your weekend, Mr. Where'd you go?
I went to convention center right here in Tampa. About the tattoo, tattoo conversion center.
Hey, from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
What's going on? Hey guys, great
good.
YouTube show. Thank you,
Thank
Martin.
you.
So I want to apologize right up front, you guys. Hey,
What's up, Bill?
You guys didn't get a show today on YouTube. I'm sorry. That's like 2 Mondays in a row, and I feel really bad about that. And I'm sincere when I say that, even though I might not seem that way.
Connecticut.
It's just, but these last 2 weekends have been really tough. I had some stuff I had to get done around the house that I've been putting off, so I had to, as they say, buckle down last night and get that stuff done so that I don't have to worry about it anymore.
From Modesto.
What's up, Bismarck? What's up from Kentucky via California for the show? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome, Keith.
I'm from Norway.
A lot of Norway tonight. Awesome.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was that. So it was an interesting weekend.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
Awesome
a lot of fun. Let's hope this week is good.
Not yawning. I know, man. Tired.
I know it's Monday and you're already tired, which is hilarious because
man.
I know California reporting in.
What's up?
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So as far as before we go on, Butch came by tonight and he dropped off these. So we have more 5-star stickers. So go ahead, go to 5-star sticker at yahoo.com. If you haven't got your stickers yet, 5-star sticker at yahoo.com. This is just a supplemental. We got even more coming. He's real busy at work right now, so he's kind of getting these in between jobs. But yeah, if you haven't got your stickers yet, go ahead and send me an email. I just need your address. All we're using it for is the stickers. So you get 2 small stickers like this, 1 big sticker. So we'll get those out to you. Sue's on top of that. As you can see, there's the sticker there. This is the new iPhone Max. Ooh, picked that up last weekend? This weekend? Last weekend. So I've been playing with this. I had the 7 with the button on the bottom, and I went right to the Max, and I'm still trying to get used to it. There was a question from Saturday. These guys right here, these are the bullfrogs. There was a question on whether Kicker gave us these or not. Kicker did not supply us with these. John, who's a friend of the show, who's our Kicker rep, these are actually his. He's letting us borrow them. I don't know for how long, I don't know what, but we had pitched to him. We wanted something. I wanted to hear him for one because I obviously saw him when I was in Oklahoma, and I was like, those look really cool. I wanted to get them in the show because I wanted to play with them. As you can see, the little 100 is down there. We played with that all day Saturday. We actually put it in the YouTube show Saturday.
Right.
We wanted to be able to play music at the beginning of the YouTube show, not the Facebook show, because the Facebook show I go ahead and add music in after the fact. So these are working out really great for that. This is the 200. And as you guys know, we review products.
What's up, Johnny?
We get all 3 of them in, they make the 100, the 200, the 300. Once we get the full set in, then we're going to do a full review of them. But there's no reason why we can't, of course, just have fun with them and tell you guys how great they are. Because Christmas is coming, and those of you guys that celebrate Christmas, why not have a cool Bluetooth speaker
There you go.
with the Car Stereo brand on it?
Yeah.
But anyways, that's why they're here. you know, it's to better the show, to give us music. And of course, honestly, this one has an FM radio in it, and the FM receiver in this works better than the one that I have in my toolbox, so we've been listening to this every day. So for me, I'm real down with that. Yeah. So, how's the Max? I have the X right now, but I want a bigger screen. The screen is huge. It's gorgeous. They have, for the camera, they have a new all-time HDR feature, so they've taken the HDR button away. You can go ahead and turn it back on if you want in the settings, but the actual camera on it is phenomenal. I haven't shot any 4K yet. I really wanted to the other night, but I didn't realize I had to go into the menu and turn it on. The only thing I'm having a hard time with is just the button on the bottom. I'm so used to the button, and I keep hitting it and turning it off, you know, because I'm that old guy, get off my yard kind of dude. But it's as far as like the responsiveness and the speed, and if you can get used to the new flickings that it needs to do, which everyone of course has had a year with the flickings that I haven't had. So, you know, you make fun of me, and Haley makes fun of me, and yeah, so that's really been the hardest part for me, is just getting used to the flicking stuff.
Yeah.
Do these have any bass? They're made to be full range outdoor loudspeakers, so as far as the bass that comes out of it, obviously it's Bluetooth speaker bass. It's not anything that's like, oh my god. But you know, we were just demoing them for Butch when he dropped off the
but they sound
the
amazing.
stickers.
They sound really good.
Yeah, he's like, dude, let me hear those. You keep putting them on the show. Let me hear what they sound like. And like this one, we put it on the tripod and we put it in the middle of the room, and I was like, all right, here you go. And I pressed play. And at first I started in the corner, and then I moved it to the middle of the room, and he was like, I wanted that for the beach the other night. That would have been perfect. And him and his wife drove to the beach and sat in the back of the pickup truck and had some wine, and we're watching the sunset. And yeah, so he's like, yeah, so I might have to get him one or something to thank him for all the stickers. What do you think about the M50? For those of you guys who don't know, the M50 is the new camera we just picked up. We've been waiting for it to come in.
What's up, Donald from California? Brandy from Oklahoma.
So this is the new M50 we picked up, Canon. This is basically hopefully going to eventually replace our 80Ds that we shoot with. It's a cuter, much lighter. It's not a DSLR, but they have a name for it now, which I forgot. It's a replaceable lens, something or other. So it's like a DSLR. You can take the lens off, put new lenses on it. We got the M100 in that we started using for when you see me talk to the camera like this. And we wanted something we could put a microphone on. So this came as a kit with a Rode microphone. Honestly, we haven't had time to do anything with it yet. So it's just kind of been, we got it, we were like really excited. We ordered it like a month and a half ago. So yeah, so that the stickers are at...
I would put a comment in the end of the video.
Okay.
So you guys can see it.
Yeah, if Sue's probably not on.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, Donald from California?
Thinking about doing all crossover speakers in my 07 Murano, but I'm not sold yet on the whole crossover setup. Oh, you mean like active crossover or passive crossovers? I mean, every speaker needs a crossover. Every speaker has a crossover. So a tweeter has a crossover. It's called a bass blocker. Mid-range. Mid-range need to play, they have what's called a top and a bottom, also referred to as a band pass. So you have how loud the speaker can play, or what frequency the speaker can play up to, and then what speaker the speaker can play down to. And then a subwoofer also has a crossover on it called a low-pass filter. So you have high-pass filters, you have low-pass filters, and you have band-pass filters. Every scenario that you put a speaker in a car, there's some form of a crossover on it, whether it be built onto the speaker, whether it's an external box, or whether it's doing active from the amplifier. They're always going to be there. There's never a situation where they're not there. Every tweeter has a crossover. You blow it because you need something to stop that tweeter from playing, you know. Now, as far as component speakers over regular, like, coaxial speakers, basically what you're doing is think of sound as a circle, which I'm trying... Okay, hold on.
Okay, yeah.
One of the joys of moving this to the install bay is
the PT, the Rockford P2, Rockford 8-inch is doing good. It sounds way better than the first time, so of course it's broken in.
Car stereo lab would be neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a circle here. This is your mid-range. So let's take this and pretend like this is a mid-range. If you put the speaker here, which is your coaxial, now if you take a cone of sound and move it off of this, so what that basically means is if you radiate from this speaker out like in a cone. So at, let's say, 15 degrees off left, 15 degrees off right. Now, depending on what type of speaker you get, that off axis is going to change. So like if you pick up something like an Audison Prima speaker, that has amazing off-axis response for both the mid-range and the tweeter. But a lot of the time, the tweeter has crappy off-axis. Now, there's a cone also coming off the tweeter. So you have this, but the cone of sound will never get bigger than this mid-range. It'll only stay this size. This won't get any bigger either. So what that means, if you put this down, let's say in your door, the cone of sound stays down at your door. Now, anytime you take the tweeter and you move it out of here so that now you're off to do something like this, okay, that cone now becomes bigger because you have the cone of sound off of this, the cone of sound off of that. So picture a cone traveling out from here and a cone traveling out from the top here. So now you have a bigger soundstage. That's why, like when you're in your home audio, you have a mid-range, you have a tweeter, and depending on where they place those has to do with that cone of sound. Now, home audio is obviously a little bit easier than car, because in car you typically are going to have something like this in the door, you're going to have something like this up in the dash, and what that's doing is that's just expanding the soundstage for you. Today we did a customer that drove over from Orlando at an F-150. Shocking, I know. It didn't have the tweeter locations. We really didn't want to cut into it because it had nice wood grain and didn't want to ruin it. So we ended up doing some coaxials in the door. They're 5x7, so we went with what coaxials did we go with, Fernando?
The beautiful Rockford
Power Series 5x7s. The 5x7s, those are the best 5x7s to go, so we went with those. And even those that have a wide dispersion, meaning they have really wide cone of sound that comes off them, the tweeter and the mid-range, and the tweeter is also aimed. So now you have this, and the tweeter actually is a little bit, has an angle to it, which is aiming up at you. But we were real narrow on the soundstage, so instead of the soundstage being up high, the soundstage was down low. Now luckily we did a Kenwood radio which has soundstage adjustment built into the DSP, so we were able to take the sound from here and move it up considerably. So it didn't go all the way up into the top window like we had hoped for naturally, but if we didn't have a tweeter up there, it moved that up. Now if we were to put the tweeter in the door up higher, so it would have been like this and this, then we would have been able, with that processor, to move that soundstage up a lot higher. We've done that in several F-150s. So, whether you should do the whole external box crossover thing is entirely up to you, but I hope that long drawn-out explanation helps you out some making your decision. Yay! Love me some Rockfords. Okay, alright.
Alright.
Sorry.
Yep, I have a 2009 Toyota Tacoma. It has the factory backup camera.
Yeah.
The stock radio wasn't only a CD player.
Yep.
So, how can I retain my factory backup camera and my 9904S?
Yeah, so you got a 9904S, you could do something like the iDataLink, so go to iDataLink.com, go to the Maestro tab, there's two tabs. If you go, you can actually go like iDataLink.com/Maestro and it'll take you right to the green tab. On the Maestro page at the top, there's a yellow tab and a green tab. Yellow is for alarm, green is for car. Go to the RR. And once you buy the harness for that car, that harness usually is going to have the backup camera powered in it. Now, if you're not down for the RR, you don't want to go with the RR, you don't need all the other silliness that it comes with, you don't want to do any programming or anything like that. You could also do the pack harness. That's the RP4.2 TY11. And I suggest you go to their website first, go to pack-audio.com, type it in, get the owner's manual. In the back of the owner's manual is going to be a picture that there's two harnesses. There's a TY11 and a TY12 or something like that.
TY11, TY12.
And what those are is those are the backup camera retention cables that you're going to need one or the other to go with your TY11 brain box. It's going to plug in and provide you with the 6-volt output and go into it. Now what iData does is iData just has two harnesses. Pack has two harnesses, but they're just a camera harness because not everyone needs the camera harness, so they sell it separately. Both of them will get you to the same point, which is a new radio in your dash with your factory backup camera working.
Alright, so Jason asks if he has a module for a Range Rover 2009 for a backup camera.
If you want to add a backup camera to a Range Rover, that's NavTV, Nav-Dash, or NavTV.com. Just do a Google search for NavTV.com. They're the guys that make all that cool stuff.
Yep.
As far as any updates for audio control on the Bluetooth module, I got nothing.
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 We're still waiting too. So, Johnny, no, all the camera equipment has Dean's. So.
What was someone asking?
He said, Johnny said, does Paul pitch in for all the recorder?
No.
Equipment.
Actually, you want to know how we get the camera equipment is because of you, the viewers.
You guys.
Anytime you guys go to the DNF tool drawer.com and you guys like link, all those links we have for Amazon that take you guys off to buy the cool tools we use. Those are Amazon affiliates, so we use those to buy the camera gear, to buy any of the tools we need, anything we're going to demo for you. We use you guys are helping us produce the show. So obviously there'd be no way I could produce this show on our own. It takes way too much time, way too much
money,
way too much money. So
you guys, I mean, definitely, you guys help.
You guys help. You guys are you guys feed the machine.
Yeah.
Between the Amazon affiliate program,
YouTube.
Between Patreon, you guys that are Patreon members, you guys are all helping us to buy the equipment we need to keep the show going, because this is not cheap. It's not cheap anymore. This show started out real simple with just a Canon G9 point and shoot and a cell phone, and it has snowballed into something that has just grown out of control. So
what's up, Julio?
Any awesome, you need to add the donate link. Yeah, we were just talking about that today. I'm gonna look into it so that we can get that going on YouTube. There again, I hate shilling the audience for anything. I appreciate everything, or we appreciate everything you guys do immensely. Yeah. So, like, you guys asked for Patreon, we turned on Patreon. We've been trying to add value into Patreon, so that's like now why we do the podcast.
So, Steve,
which hopefully I'll get. So, all you Patreons, be looking out, because we have another video podcast that's probably going to go up either tonight or tomorrow. So be looking out for your video podcast for those who don't know what I'm talking about. Patreon, if you support us on Patreon, for one, the rebroadcast of this show, you get your name listed at the end of the show so that everyone can know how cool you are. And two, we've added in a video podcast. Everyone else gets an audio podcast, but they get it much later, and you guys get a video version of the podcast. So it's one extra video that no one else gets to see other than Patreon. So we like to thank you guys for that. And that's why we're giving away the stickers. These stickers don't cost you anything. These stickers are free to you. So when you go to 5-star sticker at yahoo.com and give us your address, Sue puts these in a cool envelope and sends you out 3 cool stickers so that you can put them on the back of your iPhone case or Android case and look all sexy.
All right. Percy, like Johnny said, the Rock 4 500.2 doesn't run hot, so it's pretty good amplifier.
Let me answer this one real quick.
Yeah.
Christian asks, thoughts on Sony Apple CarPlay compared to Pioneer's CarPlay? CarPlay is CarPlay. So as far as CarPlay goes, CarPlay is the same. It doesn't matter whether it's on an Apple, Alpine, Pioneer, Kenwood, Sony, JVC, it doesn't matter. That's all going to act the same. Where it gets different is on the radio themselves. Now, I'm waiting on my sticker. Johnny, I'm sorry, we ran out, so these are going to go. So if you haven't got yours yet, you're going to get them. So we just ran out, so I had to get more. He's been real busy, and he's got other things going on that.
But everybody's going to get a sticker.
But everyone's going to get a sticker. So 5-star sticker at yahoo.com. Anyways, what it comes down to is menu structure and operating system. So the difference between, let's say, a Sony and a Pioneer is that Sony is a little bit more, I'm going to say, basic as far as functionality goes. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with sound. Sound is not affected by basic, so don't confuse me saying basic as anything to do with the sound. Pioneer gives you a lot more adjustments, like Kenwood and Alpine. They go way overboard on like things you can do with the sound. Sony, not so much. Sony, I'm going to say, is a little bit more basic, a little bit more like hit this button and it sounds good, hit this button, it sounds good, hit this button, it sounds good. And you really don't want to get in there and do much of the tweakiness to it. Whereas Pioneer and all those other guys, they want you to, like, you get a lot of things to play with. So that's really the difference there.
That's it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Thanks,
there you
Bill.
Go. Thanks, Bill. For all these people that want stickers, Bill Freeman just put the email address for that. Thank you. Alright, so it's okay to get a signal from the LC2i from a factory sub leads after the stock amplifier, or should I pull the signal from somewhere else?
No, the LC2i was actually designed to go in that exact location that you're asking. So, like, if you haven't seen the videos that we do on variable voltage or fixed voltage coming into the factory amplifier, those are something you're going to want to check out, because basically what you're looking for, when you're coming out of a radio, there's certain things that you have your option to do. And getting the signal is different depending on the type of unit you have. So, for example, if you have anything like a premium sound system that'll take an Amp Pro, I would strongly recommend getting an Amp Pro. And you go to Amp Pro and type it, go to pack-audio.com, type in your make, model, and year, and see if they listen to Amp Pro. Now, an Amp Pro is only going to work in something that has like a premium sound, like a Bose, JBL, Infinity, Beats by Dre, something like that, depending on your car manufacturer. It only works in specific cars. So like Toyotas, Fords, GMs, Chevys, which is GM,
Yep.
and what did I miss? Chrysler. Now all the other guys out there,
What's up,
that's
Chris?
just going to depend on the car. So like Infinity, Lexus, and all that other fun stuff. Some of those, depending on the year, and BMW and Audi and Mercedes, you want to see what's feeding the amplifier. So if it's like fiber optic feeding the amplifier, you're always going to go after the amplifier. If we want to know if it's fixed or variable. So if it's a fixed output, meaning when you're controlling the volume on the radio, the signal that's feeding the factory amplifier doesn't move up and down, that's fixed, you're going to go after the amplifier. But if it's variable, then you want to go to that and tap in a set of RCAs and get your signal from there. Now, if you don't have the tools to test that or don't have any idea what I just said, easily tapping it at the subwoofer with your LC2I will work fine. The LC2I can handle the wattage coming out of the amplifier. It's the biggest, baddest, high-level, low-level adapter on the block as far as how much power it can handle, and you're easy peasy lemon squeezy all day long.
All right. Let's see. I have a 2013 Ford Focus. I already have a Kenwood DMX 7704S. I'm thinking to add the DSK 170.3 Hertz and the Fosgate Punch P300s. This will be a decent sound budget system. Yeah.
I was gonna say that sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah.
Is that the answer?
Yeah.
That's the official answer?
Cool. Christian.
Okay.
Hey guys, I want to tune my system correctly. I got a DSP and 2 amplifiers.
Okay.
2 channel and a 4 channel. I have the SMD DD1 ready to rock.
Right.
Do I tune the DSP first and then the gains or on the amps?
Okay. Okay, wow. All right, so first thing you need to find out right off the bat is when the factory rated starts. So you're going to use your
What's up,
DD1
Ari?
for that. That's going to be the most important thing you're going to want to find out. Find that Justin Gomez one there.
Justin?
It's where it
Justin
says
Gomez.
when wiring. So finding out where the radio distorts is crucial, the factory radio. So find that out first. So make sure your bass and treble and all that stuff set. Find that. Now, when you're doing a DSP, the DD1 is helpful, but not... Okay. Yes, you're going to want to use it before you start tuning the DSP, but you may end up going up a little higher. So, meaning if you set it for, let's say, -5, you may end up going -10. Now, the trick to using a DSP is not to gain up, but to gain down. So, for example, when you're looking at your EQ curve on your RTA and you're trying to figure stuff out, you want to start louder than you might normally start and start moving the EQ down as opposed to moving the EQ up. Moving the EQ up will introduce noise. Moving the EQ down will reduce noise. So if you're looking at, let's say, one of the curves on your RTA output-wise, and you can see where everything is, you can see this jagged line, and you want to find your lowest point that you want to make and then gain up to that and then start bringing everything else down around it, as opposed to making it really quiet and lifting everything up. So reduce, don't increase. That's really the only advice I can give you for setting that. Now that's where the DD1 may not work the way you want it to, because let's say you have a giant hole in your sound and you're trying to gain up as opposed to reduce down. If you set your amplifier up for the 1000 hertz at -5 dB or -10 dB, well, it might not be enough. So you might actually have to lift up. So that's where the DD1 is helpful, but
What's
when
up,
you're getting
Jason?
into DSP, it can be a little bit tricky. So at least you know where to start. Okay.
All right, let's see. You say you want this one. When wiring 2 subs to 1 ohm,
Yes.
is the wattage split between the 2 subs, or is a full amount going to both subs?
It's split between the two.
Yeah.
So basically the question is, if you have a 1000-watt amp, you have 2 subs,
1
is
ohm.
each sub getting 1000 watts? No, each sub is getting half that. Each sub is getting 500 watts apiece. It's a full output, but it's dictated by the ohm load. So you're not getting 1000 here and 1000 here. You're getting 500-ish apiece.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
All right.
Gents.
I have a
No
2004
problem, Jason.
Chevy Bourbon.
Suburban. Bourbon. Yeah.
Bourbon.
Bourbon. Yeah.
And I want to change the radio. Can I retain the rear entertainment radio Pioneer 4201 with 2 Alpine amps.
So a 4201 has the ability to do dual zone.
Dual zone.
So you can do a dual zone with the 4201. Now, whether it's going to work with the factory dual zone, probably not. You're probably going to have to create your own little scenario for dual zone. You can keep the factory overhead, but there again, pack-audio.com will have all the parts that you need, and you'll be good to go from there.
All right. Let's see. Thank you so much. You guys rock. I called today, and I got proper. Yeah, cool, man. You're welcome, Mike. Can you open a shop in Stock, California?
I'd love to go to California. I love
Again?
California. I would go there all the time if I could.
Really?
I don't know if I could live there, but it would definitely. I like vacation there. Would it be possible on Pioneer in the future, 1 button select for 2 dB and 1 dB step for the EQ? You know, Christian, when it comes to Pioneer, there's a lot of things we'd like them to do, but you got to understand, Pioneer has become a company that is more involved in moving boxes and not necessarily with what the customers are asking for. We've run up a wall time and time again with those guys that, and I just had this discussion with our sales rep the other day when he was here. I just don't understand the direction the company is taking. It makes no sense to me, other than to just destroy everyone in the industry as far as trying to make profit, trying to come up with cool products. Because if you look at it like this, here's the problem that you run into. You know, you look at somebody like Kenwood Exelon that, with the new product, came out with a high-end touchscreen, which is still only $720, and I get it, you don't have to go there. But it was a step in the right direction in that it's like, hey, we're the first company to actually listen to you guys and come out with a product that you guys have been asking for. Something with a high-res 4A 7-inch screen and make it work.
That's awesome.
Pioneer, on the other breath, is saying, no, let's just keep coming out with these radios and not clarifying. So you sell somebody their 200EX and they think they got a 4400. And it's like, it could be farther from the truth because they're not doing a good job at trying to upsell their products or explain to customers what they're buying. It's just really annoying. Pioneer bugs me.
All right.
Still love the products, but they bug me.
All right. What do you think about when it becomes a hardcore sound quality head units? The manufacturers always stick to the single DIMMs.
Because they're cheaper and they're not that much of a loss. Plus, anything with a touchscreen is going to make noise. It's not going to be the cleanest thing possible. You got that giant panel right in front of you that's got tons of noise. So I'm guessing it's got to do something with that. I don't know. There again, that was a question. I was like, how hard would it be to make a PRS-80 with a touchscreen? And they're just looking at me like, who would buy it? I'm like, everyone would buy it. They're like, what would we sell it for? I don't know. You guys would screw it up somehow. So, I mean, honestly, if you want a high-end touchscreen, you buy an Alpine, you buy a Kenwood. You know, that's not to pull away from the 4400. It's a great radio. 8400 is a great radio too. Yeah. But there again, nothing has that 32-band EQ. What I would buy is buy yourself a touchscreen that has the basic features you want and throw a DSR-1 in there or something like that, and then there you go. You have the cool screen that you want with all the cool features. Or if you want to get really tricked out, follow me on this, the Phoenix Gold EQ DSP, there's an app for that you can actually control from your Pioneer radio. So you can actually control it. I don't know how well it works because we haven't had time to demo it yet, but it's there. So it's kind of humorous.
All right, 2011 Crown Victoria factory speaker wire VOK for 75 watts RMS system. Or should I upgrade the wiring?
Well, answer it.
Yeah, you should upgrade it. It's 75. I mean, right now you have a 5-channel amp, 350 watt subs, Alpine, SPS. I mean, if you can run at least 16 gauge wire.
Well, what year is it?
This one is a 2011 Crown Victoria.
So he's only got 75 by 4?
Yeah.
He doesn't need new wiring for that. That's fine. Because you got to remember, in that same car, the amplified system is going to run that same. They're not replacing the wire for the factory premium sound system in that. So 75 by 4, you should be fine with the wire that's in it. I mean,
there you go.
150, something like that, I'd definitely run new wire. But 75, you should be fine with that. Plus, you're going to actively cross it over. You're going to be good. I wouldn't lose any sleep on that.
Then it's okay. So
Okay.
all right, cool. Is
Oh, hey, it's Dave. What's up, Dave?
Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
Nice picture, Dave. Look at that.
Okay, Clearwater Tunes, Velocity, featuring Dean and Fernando show about to install real people. Okay, wow. Brought to you by Kicker, Rockford, Kenwood, and Morel.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's a show. Definitely.
Yeah.
Pioneer GM 9605. If I'm using the
I try.
only channel A and B for mids and highs, but not using the sub channel, leaving the sub bass knob, of course, the bass knob unplugged, affect the AV output?
I'm sorry, I was reading this other question where it said, if most mids and highs are 120 watts max, why do they sell amps that are 800 by 4? How many mids and highs can you connect to one channel? The reason why they sell amplifiers that are that big is because most speakers can handle a lot more power than you're giving them. They are giving you a power rating that is from 20 to 20,000 hertz, which isn't what you're going to be playing it at. Now, we did a video in the from the install bay playlist where we showed you the difference between, let's say, an entry-level 6.5 and a high-end 6.5, where you had, like, the high-end 6.5 had a 70 watt rating and the inexpensive one had a 35 watt rating. And we put a giant amp, or we put an amp on them, and there again, showing you the crossover and whatnot. Most speakers can handle a lot more power than you're giving them. Plus, you know, a lot of the times too, if you're going passive instead of active, they need a lot more power because the passive crossover sucks up a lot of power. But power, dude, you can never have enough power. But that's why they sell them. But 800 by 4, there again, unless you're running at 8 ohm, that's another thing too. A lot of the, like, let's say like the Crunch and the American Bass and something like that, where it has...
What's that, Seth?
Where it's like an 8 ohm driver, you're going to want an 800 by 4 because you're going to want to put 4 on each, or 2 on each channel. But trust me, I would love a nice AB class 800 watt by 4 amplifier to put on speakers all day long. That would be sexy. All right, what was your question? I'm sorry.
All right, Pioneer GM 9605.
Yeah.
I'm using channel A and B for mids and highs, but
Yes.
not using the sub channel. With leaving the bass knob unplugged affects the channel A and B.
No. The only channel affected by A and B is the sub channel. So if you don't want to use it, don't use it. Was only on, okay. Does remote start and security system
Thank you, Steve. We okay. Nothing
remote
happens in the
starts?
hurricane over here, so I appreciate it.
Just reading the first part of that, does remote start and security system installs annoys you? Yeah, they do. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy doing them all that much, and luckily we don't have to do that all that often. Viper remote start system box says all you need is one box. Is that true, or do you need to have a bypass to clone a key? Depends on the unit you're buying from Viper. Some of the new stuff is all built in. All the newer Viper stuff and a lot of the newer other brands, everything is built into it. So no, you don't need external boxes. It just depends what model you're getting. If it says it's included, it's included. Okay.
Fabian, I believe we have some with the Sorrento replacement. I believe we replaced the radio and speakers. Like I said before, we just have to go back in the install diaries and find that video, because sometimes we did like 3 or 4 cars a day, so it's gonna probably take you time, but yeah, probably you can find it.
So Christian says the auto EQ is basically the only reason why he went with the Pioneer over the Kenwood. Come on, Kenwood, put an auto EQ feature in there. That's understandable. The auto EQ feature in the Pioneer is pretty good. I like to think of it as a preset when you're doing something on your phone where you find that cool picture and you just slide through the presets. It gets you really close, but doesn't get you perfect.
Yeah.
Pioneer will get you pretty close, but it's definitely not perfect. I've never set one and then just be like, this is great. We always end up spending at least another while on it. Dean hates doing remote starts. Dean hates doing remote starts should be a t-shirt, because Dean hates doing remote starts.
Have you ever done a backup camera on a trailer?
Yes.
If you so, how do you protect video when not being used?
How do you do what?
How do you protect video when it's not being
Oh, like the
used?
connector. So I bought a 4-pin waterproof connector and made my own connector. So because I was doing it in a car hauler, I've done a couple car haulers where the trailer is like 30 feet long or whatever. So we wire the camera in, and then when we come out of the bumper, we have a waterproof connector, 4-pin connector here, waterproof 4-pin connector here, and we plug them in together, and the camera works. And then when we're done, we unplug him, he tucks them back up in the bumper, and he drives away and has a nice day. We just had, new shirt coming to Teespring. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, there are 3 new t-shirts up on Teespring, so we've been talking about them a little bit now. You can check those out at teespring.store/5star. They are nice. They're only getting better. What are your thoughts on the Rockford 360.3? Antiquated. That's about it. That's all I got. It's a great piece. It's antiquated. If you don't need all the features that it has, the DSR1 is probably the way to go with. I don't think, who knows what Rockford's going to do with that. I think they're really pushing hard on the DSR1. Do they need to revamp it? Maybe. Maybe. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a place that they need to waste any more money on that, or just honestly, if it was me, I would just dump the 360.3 altogether and just move forward with something more built out on the DSR1 platform. I think that would be way cooler. Is this show still live? This show's still live. You're still catching it now, Matthew. You're talking to us right now.
All right. So actually, he said I want to install an Alpine 45U power pack. I have a factory radio, and I don't want to cut the factory radio harness. Where can I get a T-harness?
So there's 2 places you can find T-harnesses. We own Amazon, and because we have time, we buy bunches of them. We use a company called Car AV. They make Bluetooth T-harnesses. So basically what you do is if you got like a Ford, you type in Ford Bluetooth T-harness, and then it would list that. Or if you're not in, like if you are in a hurry and you want to get it done like now, go to metroonline.com. They have their new DSP-1 or something like that it's called. They make T-harnesses so that you can add their high-level, low-level DSP in pretty much all the cars on the road. So they have T-harnesses now for pretty much every car on the road. So you can find a T-harness for their DSP, modify it to fit whatever you want. And actually, if you go watch, we have a video probably a month ago on the pack or the Metro DSP, where we kind of go over and talk about the features that it has and something like that. Yeah, DSR2 would be awesome. 6 channels or 8 channels of input. SEMA is coming up. We'll see soon. This is true. Which reminds me, we're not going to SEMA, but Bill, our Kenwood rep, is going to SEMA.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in SEMA because Kicker, everyone is going to introduce all their cool new stuff.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to add this to the list of things we need to do next year. But what we're going to do is when Bill gets back is we're going to do a special live show with Bill. We're going to go out to their cool warehouse that they have, and we're going to look at all the cool new stuff that's coming out from Rockford, because he's our Rockford rep. So we're going to see all the cool new stuff that Rockford has coming out from SEMA. So we'll get to do a SEMA wrap-up show with him on that. I don't know if John's going out to SEMA or not, which is our Kicker rep.
Going.
Either way, we're going to try to get as many of our guys together that are going out there and get them in to do live shows so that we can tell you guys all the cool new stuff that these guys are coming out with from SEMA. Obviously, we would have loved to go out there. Just wasn't in the cards this year.
All right, I installed an app in the 2018 Malibu with the pack line converter. And when I was done, the customer pressed the gas, and it was a lot of engine noise.
Ooh.
I disconnect the mics and stop.
Yeah,
It's
not
another
engine noise.
line
It's ANC.
converter better than what I have, so I don't have to disconnect it.
Disconnect the mics?
Yeah.
What kind of car was it?
That's a 2018 Chevy Malibu.
It's got mics in it. Okay, so you're talking about ANC. ANC is automatic noise cancellation. A Chevy Malibu is going to have that. And anytime you do anything, it doesn't matter whether, you got to disconnect them. So you have to pull the mics. The mics aren't there for anything more than adding in fake noise cancellation.
Okay.
That's all they're doing. So anytime we do one, we pull the mics. It doesn't matter what high level, low level you use. I have a 363, but when I turn the volume on my stock head unit up, it skips until I turn the volume down. What do you think is possible? I don't know if it's skipping so much as clipping. That could be more the issue. If you overload the input section on it, it will sound like skipping. It'll start going tip, 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 and that is you got to turn it down. So to me, it sounds like you might be overloading the input section on it. For example, like even a DSR1 only has 4 volts of input. So when we put one of those into, let's say, a system with an amp pro, like we've been doing with the GMs as of late, it seems like, we have to go in and program the amp pro to a 4 volt output instead of the 5 volt output because the DSR1 is only made to accept the 4 volts. So something to think about.
All right. When you guys run the DD1 gain settings, do you use a flat a flat preset or the EQ, or do you turn all the frequencies all the way down as low as they will go?
So anytime we're using the DSR1, what we do is we go and set the EQ to flat. We make sure the loudness is off. We put the subwoofer volume at about 3 or 4. We find out where the radio is going to clip at, so we're going to start at 0 dB. Okay, find out where the radio clips at what volume for both 1000 and 40. Once we've figured that out, we're going to go ahead and turn the volume of the radio up to that point. We're going to make sure all the speakers are disconnected from the amplifier. That has to be the first thing you do. Make sure all the crossovers are disconnected from the amplifier. Don't think nothing is connected to the outputs of the amplifier. And then what we're going to do is we're usually going to go for -5. Depending on what we're doing from there, we may go up as much as -10. And that's that.
Alright, I installed Pioneer 4400 NEX. When I hit the turn signal or some other alert that happens, like fuel, low chime, the screen jumps to the main screen.
Okay.
Wow.
That's different.
That's totally different.
What kind of harness
What kind of harness do you use?
Yeah.
And what kind of car do you have?
Yeah.
I have a 2006 GMC Sierra Crew Cab. Where should I put the subs? Under the seat or behind the back seat?
Under the seat. Under the seat if they'll fit. If it's the one I'm thinking about, you want to go under the seat. And I can tell you right now that if you go to Bright Star Car Stereo, or call Bright Star Car Stereo, talk to Sean, they have the box that you need. Don't go behind the seat. If it's the one I'm talking about that folds down like this and it's got the cool little flaps, so when the seat folds down, there's these little panels that fold down after it. The back of that seat is solid metal. That sucks. Don't put anything behind that seat. It's a great place for your amplifiers. Put the amplifiers there, but put the bass underneath the seat. So basically what I'm talking about is the butt of the seat comes up this way and this goes down like this. That seat, not this seat, where this is the back of the seat, it folds up like this. Always go under the seat. They make a box.
From Michigan.
They make 2 different boxes for that though, so contact Sean and he'll be able to help you out on that one and make sure you get the right one. Dean, I love home audio. I have Paradigm speakers. Ooh, an Emotiva very nice. Elite Source. Yow, The Boring Life of Dean. And Haley Show. Do a short video showing your Morales system. I was going to do that. That's on my list of things to do, John. But thank you for watching The Boring Life. For those of you who don't know what John is talking about, if you, I don't know, you're living under a tree or something, Boring Life of Dean and Haley is a show that I do with Haley, which has been on the show a couple times, where we spend the day together on Sundays and we take you through our many versions or just the boring life of being a dad and a daughter. So if any of you guys got kids or just want to know what I do on the weekends, there you go. Usually starts out with me sweating my ass off on a run. So that's The Boring Life of Dean and Haley. You can check it out on YouTube.
Donald, I like the 750.1. The Rockford is good. It's just those leads. That's it.
Yeah, the 750.1 typically does 1,000 watts.
It's really good. I like it.
Okay, so I was laughing the other day because, all right, every one of those amplifiers comes with a tune CD. All right, and of course we keep the tuning CDs. So each one of these.
Good job.
Each one of them comes with these tune CDs, and what I just dropped on the floor was all the cool tune CDs.
There's like 100 of this.
There's like 100 of them. It's like, who wants to play 52 pickup?
Yeah.
Good job, Dean. Good job.
I know, that's what I say. Good job, man.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. So we like that. The amplifier is really nice.
Keep going.
I'm just looking for
Let me
this.
just pick up my stuff.
Yep. Pick your mess, people.
I'll scratch that one. But anyways, so just to give you an idea of how many of those little T-series amplifiers we do.
Yeah.
We do quite a few of them. So we have a good track record on those. We know what we got. What a nice tool, that CD. This CD is really nice. This is one of the things I think I always wanted. I don't know why I'm collecting these. Probably gonna just start shipping them out and giving them away. That'd probably be a good idea. I watched Morning Life. Yes, you do, Johnny. I've seen your comments on there. I don't get much time to go on there. I comment about lady said no. Oh yeah. I read that. That was funny.
What?
So we went. Last week's was when we went to Animal Kingdom, and I wanted to record the tree. There's the Bug Life show.
Okay.
And it's scary as hell for kids. So there's a scene in the movie where Hopper, for those of you guys who've never seen a Bug Life, he's a giant cricket that's wreaking havoc with these poor little ants. I mean, he must be living under a stone.
Yeah.
Anyways, he comes out and he does all this scary stuff, and these spiders come out of the ceiling, and hornets bites you in the back, and it blows, and every kid in there just screams. It's freaking hilarious. And I wanted to record the Black Widow spiders coming out of the ceiling because I knew that would be cool. And so I said, screw it. And I put my camera up against my leg so the screen wasn't on.
Okay.
And then recorded them coming down. Screw you, Disney. Screw you. You take all my money. So you know what the least amount of power is it'll take to trigger a relay? Half an amp. Maybe even a quarter of an amp. You can trigger a relay with almost no power at all.
Almost.
Almost no power.
Almost, but you need power. Alright, true auto EQ give you too much mid and highs and have to after adjust distance and speakers dB to get the sound right. Big difference when doing on and off
Access.
auto EQ.
Yeah. So is that a question or a statement?
I would think that was in the statement.
Okay. Hey, did you know if Kenwood makes a high quality 3.5 speaker for a Dodge Ram, sell but look cheap? Also, the wiring harness, can I use a cheap Walmart Scosh wiring harness for radio sound? Okay, so here's the deal. Dodge Ram, open the dash, you want a nice 3.5. First off, no, don't buy a Scosh wiring harness. I got nothing against Scosh. I don't like the wiring harnesses. I'm not a fan of their... dude, there's so many places you can get them. You can get them from Crutchfield. You can get them from Beat Sonic. You can even call Paul and he'll send them to you. You can call Paul 727-216-6170, or just look at the end of any one of our videos. The phone number's there. But no, get a pack. God forbid, at least get a Metra. As far as 3.5s go, if you want a nice 3.5, believe it or not, Pioneer makes a really nice 3.5 to go up there. It's if you're looking for something on the affordable. As far as unaffordable, there's several very expensive 3.5s.
Like what? And I'm saying because Jose actually has like 3.5 speaker for a 2010 Ram.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Yeah.
So what's that company? That makes that Jeff has
hybrid.
Illusion makes a really nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Now Morel also has a 2.5 inch that's really nice. It's a 2.5 inch mid range, high frequency mid range. Hertz makes the Dici line of 3.5 inch. That's actually real reasonable. The Hertz is probably the highest, the best quality, most reasonably priced. Kicker also makes a 3.5.
Yeah.
The Rockford makes a 3.5, but it's like a very excited thing that sticks out of the center of it that sometimes hits the dash when you have to snap it back on. So low clearance wise, Pioneer always wins that. But there's several 3.5s out there. Kenwood really to Illusion. Yep, that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So Ronnie, Kicker or Phoenix Gold, they both really good. If you actually need an amplifier, the Kicker KX 800.1 is an awesome amplifier. So you can check it out.
Do I need an inline fuse? No. So do I need an inline fuse wire from the LC7i to my amp? Thank you. No. The power line that's feeding the LC7i should be fused, and that will blow before you have a problem with that. But no, you really don't need one coming out of the LC going to the amplifier. That is unless you're going to be running it passing through metal or anything like that. So anytime you pass a wire through metal, so let's say grommet or anything like that. What's up, Ada? Always add a fuse.
What's up, man?
That's really the only thing you can think of there. But if you're not going through any form of metal, you should be fine. The fuse will blow on the main unit before it'll blow that. Hello from Michigan. What's a great cold weather system that can battle the snow? I have no idea. We don't have snow here.
What's up, Anthony?
Wow.
Actually, Paul sells DS18. I'm not sure what kind of products like.
The only reason why we know he sells it is every now and then we walk over and there's a box that says
like,
DS18
right
on
there.
it. We're like, wow. What is
but
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not anything I ever sell. Or if you ever sell.
No, like he sells, but...
Yeah, so we have a whole nother part of 5-star that we know nothing about, and that's usually the American-based SCAR DS18 portion. Not that there's anything wrong with any of those products, it's just, you can tell from the videos, we really don't get into a lot of that. Most of that stuff is a cash and carry, hobby, guys want to build their own stuff. Like Dan Basehead Murphy, that just builds his own stuff.
A lot of people, they just
crazy
like
loud stuff. So
crazy stuff.
The KAC 2400.1 also looks like a good amp. Yeah, and as soon as we get around to reviewing our 801, I'm excited. I can't wait to get our hands on that one. We just got a couple things we got to do before we get to that amp, and then we'll have lots of fun with that one. Pioneer network mode or for external? No, front stage, active, and only sub. Okay, if you're doing external DSP, I would do external DSP. I would keep the Pioneer the way it is, just do standard mode and go to a DSR1 or whatever your favorite DSP is. It's gonna be way better than, okay. Network mode is great if you're trying to do it on the cheap, because we've done plenty of them where you can put the tweeter in the mid-range and one sub. If you're doing that, it's perfect. You'll have fun, it'll be great, it'll sound amazing. Anything past that, you really need an external DSP.
All right, I'm gonna show you this one.
Oh yeah, Anthony, I saw your post today, buddy. Thanks for reposting our picture on Instagram. Thank you. Ant-Man Knows Audio.
Oh,
yeah,
cool, man.
Yeah, I subscribed to his show this morning. I watched.
I know him.
That's the one we were talking about the other day. The
logo
pictures.
and everything. Logos. That was cool, man. That was good.
I like the purple one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like.
I was the number 3. I just remember number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need inline fuse on a remote wire?
I answered that one.
Okay.
I got that one.
Never mind.
Anytime you do a 2009 or 2014 Acura tilt, please make an install diaries. I think we have one of those in the air. Yes, we do. We have one of those, but I don't know where it's at. But yeah, we got one. We just got to edit it and get it up at some point. What would you guys pair up with? AVIC 8200 amp sub speakers and tweeters on 05 Denali with Bose. Well, it really comes down to your budget. As far as pairing it up, you can pair anything you want to an 8200. 8200 is a great unit to start with. Sounds amazing. It's one of 4200's pioneers was your favorite radio for forever because they never kept changing it. Yeah. But I mean, really, what it comes down to is your budget and what you want to spend. That's always going to be the case.
Right? Just the budget.
It's always the budget. It's always the budget. You could do something as simple as keeping it all Pioneer, doing a 9605, going with some TSD speakers all the way around, and putting like a 10 or a 12 in the back, something downfiring, or getting a custom box build or a wedge-shaped box for a 10 or a 12 in the back. That'd be a really nice, affordable, loud, good sounding system that you'd be happy with and enjoy for years to come. You could step up from that and get into some of the Z series components, which are their higher end components, and get into something like the 8601 and the 8604, go multi-amplifier, go maybe 210s or 212s in the back. You could go with the 8601 or the 9601, depending on how much power you wanted there, keep it all Pioneer. Or you could branch out and go with something a little different. You could do something like, if you want to hide everything in that car, you could do back where the factory sub is, that's where we like to put our amplifiers. You could go with something like the Rockford Power Series 1005. It's looks like a carton of cigarettes, and then go with like some punch speakers. Depends on what you like for sound, how loud you want it. There's a lot to choose from. It's really narrowed down your search.
Alright, I want to install some Boston Acoustic Pro components in an amp in my wife's car. It's a 2018 Chevy Traverse. I can change the radio.
Okay.
And I do have the LC6i.
Okay.
However, I want something that has like an EQ.
Yeah.
What's something that will be better than using the LC7i? LC6i, I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you want to do something like a step up from an LC6i, that's what they make the LCQ1 for. The LCQ1 is an LC6i with 6 bands of equalization for channels 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then 5 bands of equalization with AccuBass for the subwoofer. If you want something with mild time correction, you could get into the DQ61. If you want to go for something that is full out EQ DSP with summing, you could go with the you could go with the
DMA.
The DM608.
608. Yeah.
DM608 will get you in there. One of those will get you what you want. There was something that I read what was funny. Hold on. Here it was. Any gear that we refuse to install. Yes, there is one particular thing that we refuse to install, and that is any white boxed Android style or non-Android style white box radio. If your radio won't fit in a normal dash kit, we won't put it in, because we're not going to modify your dash or modify the dash kit to put the radio in. That's probably only going to last about 6 months. So we won't even touch those.
It's not because,
No, that's it. And also, if it doesn't come with an instruction manual for one of those, like if it fits, but it doesn't come with an instruction manual, we won't install it either.
Like, keep in mind, it's because like we're so busy and we have constant cars all the time that we're not gonna waste that much time in one car for nothing, because it's your radio, it's not worth it.
Sounds like a nice system, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, used alarms. Ooh, oh yeah, there you go, Jason. For sure.
Really?
No, won't even touch a used alarm. No. You know, it's funny too, when I first started, that was one of the things Paul was like, oh, he hands me, everyone that has a used alarm brings it in a shopping bag, you know, and it's like, no, if you show up to any car stereo place with a shopping bag full of power wire and parts, just turn around and walk out the door, because we don't want anything to do with that. It's not worth it. I mean, I get the need to save a buck every now and then, but you know, you're asking us to take responsibility for this stuff. It's just not worth it for us. I mean, it's not worth it at all.
No, not at all.
It's, you know, because at the end of the day, we have to think about this.
Like we say, in the time.
Yeah, you know, if it's going to take me 2 hours just to sort out and see what you're missing, and forget it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, pretty much.
For sure.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
80. Oh, fix 86.
Yeah, Jason say fix it. That's on Pioneer Champion Series subs. They good.
You know, that's a weird one. The Champion Series sub. I don't know why I'm itching my face. The Champion Series sub is one of those like sleeper subwoofers that if you give it the right amount of power, put it in a good box, and they're a good box, because Pioneer will flat out tell you they've designed that box to work in prefab enclosures. They know their customer. We had that conversation before Eddie left. Eddie's like, Pioneer, the Japanese side of things, looked at the Americans and saw what we were putting them in. They saw we were putting all these woofers in prefab boxes, so they said, why fight the feeling? They just got all the dimensions that they could for prefab boxes from like A-Trend and Q-Power and different brands that are just, and they said, let's make our woofers work in these boxes. So anyone's just sitting there going, oh dude, you need to make a custom box for this Champion. No, you don't. Champion Series woofers were made to work in these
because they are the champions.
Lesser expensive pre-made boxes and sound good. But there again, you don't want to overpower the crap out of them. But yeah, it's that sleeper subwoofer that sounds nice. It's not bad.
The 10, 251 D4, yeah. And
they're not. It's a nice woofer for the amount of money you're paying for it. It's hard pressed to find something that it's not going to disappoint.
Yep.
It's the easiest way to think about it.
Beetle, yeah, definitely. If we have a 2009, 2014 Acura, we'll see if we can make a video.
Yeah, that's what I was answering. I think we have one of those. Jeep SKU subwoofer box, securing to keep from getting stolen.
Oof.
Man, that's a tough one. What you could probably build is some form of a bracket that comes off of the rear seat bolts that attaches to the box.
Inside the box? Like pull the woofer out?
Yeah, like pull it, like get some like quarter-inch
get
some quarter-inch ABS or maybe some steel, pull the rear seat bolts out. And then put like bolts through the bottom of the box, tighten that in, go up to the subs, tighten that in. Basically what you're going to run into is someone's going to sit there and do this and it'll never come out.
No, never mind.
So that would be my thought if someone was like real specific about installing the subwoofer, I'd probably build something like that.
And 8601 is good, yeah. For the two Champion Series 10s, yeah.
screw it from the inside.
Yeah.
You know, I know that JL when they do their Jeep box, you got to pull the skirt. It mounts to the side, so you have to pull the inner wheel well out and then screw it in this way through the wheel well into the box, and then there's like giant washers and whatnot that hold it
like what you
built into the car.
did in the Jeep. You know, too.
Well, that was an older Jeep. It had the...
No, but
I
just
pulled
like,
the,
you know,
I
you put the factory...
took the factory bolts out of the floor, put L
brackets,
put the bolts back in, and then screwed the box in from the sides. Yeah. What's up from Modesto, California? Screw it from the... Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that takes us to an hour. Do you sell 5-star gear? We do sell 5-star gear. You can get shirts and stuff like that at Teespring/store/5stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
or just go to Teespring, type in 5-star car stereo, and you'll find the cool shirts that we have. They're mildly priced. I think you get t-shirts down for like $20. We thank you guys so much for those of you guys that go on there and buy those. And for thanking you guys so much, that also brings us to Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, seriously think about it. We appreciate everything the Patreons do. You get your name at the end of a video, and you also get a video podcast that no one else gets unless you're a Patreon member. Louis, you have a wonderful evening too. DNF Tool Drawer is a place where you can find all the cool tools that we use, like we were talking about earlier. That's what helps pay for the cool things like the cameras we use and the stickers that we're giving you guys. If you want stickers, you can find them at sticker 5-star sticker at yahoo.com, which I'll try to put a link to in the end of this video at some point. You guys have a wonderful evening. As always, we'll see you this weekend, hopefully Saturday.
Yes.
Hope Saturday seems to be the good time.
Correct.
You guys have a wonderful week. Be safe. Have fun. Bye.
See ya.